Ultimately, when dealing with the addiction of a loved one, our greatest fear is that they will end up dead. This fear keeps us running, putting out fires, and trying to preserve the life of our loved one until we end up completely exhausted and depleted of life ourselves.
When you're experiencing this kind of thing, you do find that your whole life is centered around fear, because you're so afraid you're going to get that phone call and something horrible is going to have happened. I just felt so depleted of energy and strength because I just was going from one fire to another, and it just was so exhausting. And fear did rule my life because I was doing things that I shouldn't have done in order to keep her safe. Like I was going into areas of town that I shouldn't have gone in. I was just doing things that were not the norm for me, just trying to rescue her.
But you also have fears of, what's this going to do to our marriage? What is it doing to our marriage? What is it doing to our other children who are not addicted, who are losing the focus that should be given to them in their careers and their lives and what's happening with them while we're so focused on this addicted child? What if this makes us bankrupt? What happens to our careers? What if somebody else finds out? What if this child that's addicted in a stupor does injury to someone else? The fears run the gamut, and of course the loss of the addicted person is certainly the most important, but fear is probably the bedrock of addiction for those who are dealing with the one who's addicted. So it comes in all shapes and sizes.
Fear was a very dominant emotion for years. That's the way I functioned, on running from one crisis to another, trying to help, thinking, oh, we've got to stop this from becoming the crisis it looks like it's going to be. And it's uncontrollable.
I finally learned after many years of it that I can't rescue. And someone very wise told me, don't deprive your child of an encounter with God by rescuing her from her pain. And it took me a long time to really understand what that meant. And I think it was kind of freeing for me when I finally was able to understand that God was going to deal with her if I let him.
I would say that it's only by understanding who is in control of the whole picture, God, that you realize how finite you are in this whole thing. But it's been a process. It's not something you just come to right away.
The life of our addicted loved one is out of our control. In this regard, having a loving relationship with a higher power and a God of our understanding can be of great help in alleviating the fear and anxiety that come with addiction.